the fundamental unit of life. Life, as we know, it is all around us, whether it's the plants in your garden, animals in the wild, or even the smallest organisms which we cannot see with our eyes. But what makes these living things alive? The answer lies within the smallest units of life, that is cell. Cell is called the fundamental unit of life. Okay, let's first talk about the very discovery of cell. Robert Hooke in 1665, while examining a thin slice of cork from the bark of a tree with the help of a primitive microscope, he saw that the cork resembled the structure of a honeycomb consisting of many little compartments. Robert Hooke called these boxes cells. Cell is a Latin word for a little room. Okay, today we will explore why cells are called the fundamental unit of life. A cell is the smallest unit of life, the basic building block that makes up all living organisms. Whether it's a tiny bacterium or a giant elephant, every living thing is made up of cells. Some organisms like bacteria, amoeba, chlamydomonas are made up of just a single cell. These are called unicellular organisms. Uni means single, but humans, animals, and plants are made up of trillions of cells. We call these organisms multicellular organisms. Multi means many. Every multicellular organism has come from a single cell. How? Cells divide to produce cells of their own kind. All cells come from pre-existing cells. Do you think that all multicellular organism is made up of single type of cell? No. Multicellular organisms are made up of different types of cells. Let's have a look at some types of cells from human body. Muscle cells, blood cells, nerve cells, fat cells, bone cells, sperm cells, ovum. Why these cells are in different shapes and sizes? The shape and size of cells are related to the specific function they perform. Each living cell has the capacity to perform certain basic functions. How does a living cell perform these basic functions? We know that different parts of the human body perform different functions. The human body has a heart to pump blood, a stomach to digest food, kidneys to remove fluid waste, and so on. Similarly, every cell has a specific job to do. These jobs are carried out by different parts inside the cell. These parts within the cell is known as cell organelles. These cell organelles keep the cell live by helping the cell to perform its functions. Okay, let's see how is a cell organized. If you study a cell under a compound microscope, you will find three important parts in it. They are plasma membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm. Let's take a closer look at the structure of a cell. All cells have a few basic parts, but plant cell and animal cell have some differences. All cells are surrounded by a thin, flexible membrane called plasma membrane or cell membrane. This acts like a barrier, controlling what goes in and out of the cell, keeping the cell safe and functional. So, it is called a selectively permeable membrane. And what is inside the plasma membrane? The space inside the plasma membrane of a cell is filled by a semi transparent fluid. This semi transparent jelly like material is called cytoplasm. What does the cytoplasm consist of? Cytoplasm consists of water, minerals, enzymes, and some organelles. There are so many organelles floating in the cytoplasm. Let us look at these cell organelles one by one. This is nucleus, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum, golgi apparatus, lysosomes, mitochondria, and vacuoles. Each of these organelles perform a specific function. Let us see the functions of each cell organelles. Nucleus. The nucleus is a vital organelle. It is often considered the control center of the cell because it contains the cell's genetic material, DNA, which is responsible for controlling the cell's activities. The nucleus has a double layered covering called nuclear membrane. The nuclear membrane has pores which allow the transfer of material from inside the nucleus to its outside, that is, to the cytoplasm. The nucleus contains chromosomes which are visible as rod shaped structures only when the cell is about to divide. Chromosomes contain information for inheritance of characters from parents to next generation in the form of DNA molecules. Chromosomes are composed of DNA and protein. The nucleus plays a central role in cellular reproduction, the process by which a single cell divides and forms two new cells. In some organisms, like bacteria, the nuclear region of the cell may be poorly defined due to the absence of nuclear membrane. Their chromosomes are composed of only nucleic acid. Such organisms whose cells lack a nuclear membrane are called prokaryotes. Pro means primitive or primary, karyote means karyon, that is nucleus. Organisms with cells having a nuclear membrane are called eukaryotes. There is a wide range of eukaryotic organisms, including all animals and plants. Rough endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is one of the important structures inside a cell, and it plays a key role in making proteins. It looks like a network of folded membranes. It has tiny ribosomes attached to its surface. That's why it is called rough endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum. It helps in the manufacture of fat molecules or lipids important for cell function. Golgi apparatus. It is sometimes called the post office of the cell because it plays a key role in processing, packaging, and distributing proteins and lipids that are produced by endoplasmic reticulum. Lysosomes. They are small, bubble like organelles found in animal cells. They are called the garbage disposal of the cell because they help break down waste and unwanted materials inside the cell. Lysosomes are called suicide bags because they contain the digestive enzymes and digest the foreign materials like bacteria and damaged cells. Mitochondria. Mitochondria is called the powerhouses of the cell because they produce energy from glucose. Vacuoles. Vacuoles are storage bags for solid or liquid contents. Vacuoles are small sized in animal cells while plant cells have very large vacuoles. In addition to the plasma membrane, the plant cells have another rigid outer covering called the cell wall. The cell wall lies outside the plasma membrane. The plant cell wall is mainly composed of cellulose. Cellulose is a complex substance and provides structural strength to plants. There are some special cell organelles that are only present in plant cells. They are plastids. They are called pigment stores because it contains different pigments. Plastids also help in photosynthesis. Cells can also divide to form new cells. This process is important for growth, healing, and reproduction. The process by which new cells are made is called cell division. There are two main types of cell division. They are mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis produces two identical daughter cells that have same number of chromosomes as the mother cell. It helps in growth and repair of tissues in organisms. Meiosis produces four new cells that have half the number of chromosomes as the mother cells. Meiosis helps in the production of gametes for reproduction. These cell organelles work together to keep the cell alive and functioning. Organelles have their roles in keeping the cell running smoothly. From the tiniest bacteria to the largest mammals, cells are the foundation of life. They allow organisms to grow, reproduce, respond to the environment, and perform all the necessary life processes. Without cells, life as we know it would not exist. Dear students, I hope you have understood clearly about the fundamental unit of life, that is, cell. Now, let's sum up what we have learned in this class. We have come across a cell is the smallest unit of life, the basic building block that makes up all living organisms. Cells are made up of organelles which are membrane-bound structures that perform specific functions. Some organelles in cells include the nucleus, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, golgi apparatus, lysosomes, mitochondria, and vacuoles. The plasma membrane is a biological membrane that defines the cell's outer boundary. It regulates the movement of materials in and out of the cell. In plant cell, a cell wall is attached to the outside surface of the plasma membrane. The cell wall is only present in plant cells. The nucleus contains DNA, which is the genetic information of the cell. The nucleus in eukaryotes is separated from the cytoplasm by double-layered membrane. Prokaryotic cells have no membrane-bound organelles. Their chromosomes are composed of only nucleic acid. Mitochondria is called the powerhouses of the cell because they produce energy from glucose. Plastids are organelles found in plant cell. They are responsible for photosynthesis. Cells in organisms divide for growth of body, for replacing dead cells, and for forming gametes for reproduction. Now, answer for the following questions. The first question: why the cell is called the structural and functional unit of life? Yes, your answer is very correct. Cells are called structural and functional unit of life because they are the basic building blocks of all living organisms and capable of carrying out all necessary activities of life. Let's move on to the next question. What is the difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells? Yes, that's a right answer. Eukaryotic cells have a nucleus, mitochondria, and other organelles. The nucleus is covered by a nuclear membrane. Prokaryotic cells lack a nucleus and membrane bound organelles. Their chromosomes are composed of only nucleic acid. The next question is: what is the role of lysosomes in a cell? Exactly. Lysosomes are waste disposal system of the cell. These help to keep the cell clean by digesting any foreign material as well as worn out cell organelles. The next question is: who discovered cells and how? Very good. Robert Hooke, an English scientist, discovered cells in 1665. While examining a tiny slice of cork under his self designed microscope, he saw a honeycomb like structure. The last question: cell wall is made up of which component? Superb! Cell wall is made up of cellulose. Thank you for joining in this exploration of the fundamental unit of life. Keep learning and remember, science is all around you.